honestly, there was a woman who, Shiloh something is her name. She called a 5-year-old black kid the N-word on a playground, and MAGA has raised, I think, close to $1 million, probably $1 million by now for this woman, because they think that she was in the right to call a 5-year-old the N-word. So Piers Morgan decided to dip his toes into this, and he had a trad wife influencer on. And I just want you to hear the conversation that they had regarding this situation with a grown-ass woman calling a 5-year-old black kid the N-word.
Support a white racist.
Because I want to support free speech, and you cannot have free speech in the country.
No, that's fine. You can support free speech, but you also have to be accountable for what you say. Would you use the N-word out of interest?
Yes.
You would?
Mm-hmm. I do, quite frequently.
You use the N-word quite frequently. Well, why? Other than the fact you're a despicable racist. Are you?
Some would say I am. I guess according to the ADL, I'm a white supremacist, I'm a neo-Nazi.
Yeah, but if you use the N-word repeatedly, you are a racist, then, are you?
Sure, I'll embrace that. If that means forwarding, helping white people achieve freedom of speech, real freedom of speech, which, by the way, Shiloh Hendricks is being attacked on all fronts. They're trying to bring legal charges against her. They're trying to get her children taken away. So you were saying Carmelo Anthony, it doesn't matter, that's a different
Sorry, but just to be
thing.
clear, you just said to me you use the N-word regularly. In what context? Do you use it with black people?
Yes, if it's appropriate.
When would it be appropriate?
Right. When is it appropriate?
When would it be appropriate?
Anytime I feel like it.
So you're an unashamed racist.
And people follow her.
Correct.
Wow.
Well, do you understand that makes you a despicable human being?
Exactly.
I guess so. I don't really care. Why are we
know
why are
that.
we not talking about Shiloh Hendricks? Why are we talking about?
Well, actually, I think you've moved it on in this debate very quickly to your own racism, which explains why you've supported her in public and why you've got all these views. You see no problem with a woman shrieking the N-word repeatedly because you yourself are a despicable racist, and you've just proudly admitted that with a smug grin on your face, which is pretty horrifying, actually, for most people to have to watch. And shame on you. You're entitled to do it, and I'm entitled to call you despicable.
Okay, this is something that we've been calling out for a really long time, and it is the inside white culture, the racist problem. And Pumps and I have known, being of white culture, privileged white culture, that this exists. Not quite to that extent, but Trump has emboldened it so much, and there's this weird intersection right now where you have these trad wife influencers who say they're traditional wives, but really they have a side hustle and they're influencers. And then they have these racist men with either low T, penile problems, some sort of mommy or daddy issues. And then it segues with Christianity and then the MAGA movement. And they're all so emboldened that she gets on, Piers Morgan, which is a conservative show, a total conservative show. And she says that just so brazenly.
Don't care.
I just think, oh my God. And the fact that this woman, Shiloh Hendricks, has raised $1 million, and all of these people who claim to be these big Christ followers and Trump is doing all these great things for the country, the bottom line is they like him because he gives them permission to hate minorities.
And be racist.
That's exactly right. He gives them permission to be cruel. He gives them permission to dehumanize people. So they sit in churches and talk about how God-fearing they are, and then they dehumanize people. They make people believe that people are less than them. And it is so gross. And I will tell you, that shocked me. And I just, in thinking in my head, she's raised almost $1 million. That means at least 1 million people are the exact same way as this woman.
I don't think there's there's no question. I think when you look at the presidential results and you look at the things that Trump has said about immigrants and how he started it in 2016, and when you get to triple Trumpers, they're racist.
Absolutely.
There is a moral shutoff that some of us have when you hear a politician say or do certain things that you're just like, I just can't go there. With Trump and MAGA, he says that stuff and they think, Yep, finally.
'Cause that's what
somebody's
they
saying
want.
it. We're
That's what they
liberated.
want.
We
Yeah.
can come. Did you hear her talking about free speech?
Right.
She's fighting for white people to have free speech. How insulting to the intelligence of minorities and to history that is.
Might I remind you, Stephen Miller, the whole time Trump was out of office, was suing people or suing different entities because they discriminated against white people. Like, these people are the biggest racist, misogynist from the top down.
And these are the same people that get triggered because the Little Mermaid was black, and they have just these meltdowns. But anyway, that's really disturbing. But I think it's representative of the 75 million people, there are 77 million people that voted for Donald
Oh,
Trump.
yeah, baby,
And
you better know
that the only way to disinfect this cancer in American culture is to shine light on it. And so kudos to conservative, not my favorite journalist, Piers Morgan, for appropriately calling her a disgusting racist. And I hope that more media does the same, because these spaces should not have oxygen online, because other people will see this and feel more emboldened to do it. And I've said this once and I'll say it a million times. My life as an American is 10 trillion times more enhanced because of the immigrants in my life and the people of color in my life. The most boring people in my life, present company excluded, of course, are the mundane suburban white people. And so I think that we have to celebrate our diversity, and the people like this, oh my God, Trump wants to, open up Alcatraz, just send them there. That's terrible.
It's awful.
Okay, we're